the Crimson Blur tells me, Mike, if you want to know Melee, follow my lead.
Yes.
And Bobby is like, Mike, I'm not going to tell you to follow my lead. I'm just going to tell you what the reality is.
Bobby has fooled you, Mike. A quote from the Crimson Blur.
That is the last. What was 2 sentences ago? I was 2 sentences ago. You said something real scary.
Yeah.
What did I say that? What did I say that terrifies you?
You said that Crimson Blur said, if you want to know about Melee, follow my lead.
The first rule about Smash is that this guy that you keep having lunch with and hanging out with is irrelevant in the Smash community. Bobby, Scar, you were relevant for 3 months.
In the grand scheme of Melee, you as a player are not relevant.
That's what he said.
Those were the words that he said to me. I have to remind him that in 2008, I was a regional tournament winner, taking many, many tournaments over Eggum, Hacks Money. I have some victories over J-Man. I traveled down to MDVA and defeated Chudat at his own house, PPMD.
Dr. PP at the time.
And Taupe, the
Twice.
Falcon Slayer, earned second place at that tournament.
To Mewtwo King.
Not to mention Genesis, not to mention the Deep, not to mention the combo videos, the tech introduced to the community, Scar, Jump, wonder where that came from. SoCal Regionals 2014.
There was, okay.
Who eliminated Blur?
Who did?
Scar.
Ouch.
Okay.
Who made top 8? Scar.
Didn't you defeat the number 1 ranked
Who
player in
defeated
SoCal
the
at
number
time?
1 ranked player in SoCal, Fly Amanita, to make top 8? Scar.
You suck, Bobby.
Hate.
You're no longer relevant. Blah, blah, blah. The Crimson Blur, I made you who you are, blah, blah.
I pulled that card.
Yeah,
you remember
he
who got
pulled
you
all this.
who got the interview for
That's
you,
right.
bro?
That's right.
Who helped you think about Twitch partnerships and what it takes to represent Twitch
Yes. Yeah.
in the esteemed Super Smash Bros. Melee community? Who helped you along the way, Blur?
Yes.
I looked at Mike in the eyes, and I said to him, thank you for offering, Mike. I will not accept boba from anyone who pays for Blur's boba, and even if you buy it for me, I will take the full cup of boba, and I will throw it in the trash.
This is true.
I will kindly take the boba from you, and I wanted him to know that with all seriousness, if he goes against my wishes and buys the boba, as well as Blur's, that I would say thank you, take the full cup of boba, and slowly place it in the trash.
He said this in front of Blur. If I've offered to buy both of them. Now, if I bought just him boba, he would take it and drink it.
Right.
But if I paid for Blur's, then he was going to take the boba that I got him and throw it away. As we were in line, there was a gentleman behind us who was not part of this conversation.
Shit.
And you saw his eyes and ears light up when he heard, he's waiting in line. I'm just trying to get this plenty. I heard they got Nutella. I'm trying to get this new flavor.
Right.
And then blah, 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 blah. Evo. And then he looked up and looked at the group that was talking and stared directly and covered his mouth and was like, pointing at Bobby. You're that guy from Evo. You're Bobby Scar.
Says, oh my God.
Because Bobby Scar and the Crimson Blur have been arguing for 3 hours now about relevancy.
Yes.
Here's a guy randomly
He crushed the debate. There's no more debate.
This man says, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you Scar? And I swear I can't explain what happened to the contortions of my face, but they went from misery to the biggest shit.
Can I tell you what you did?
The first thing that I said, the first thing that I said, I did pop off. I said, "Why, yes, I am Scar." Do you happen to know this gentleman to my right? Pointing to Blur.
This is true.
Do you happen to know this gentleman to my right?
And when he said that, he was pointing directly at the Crimson Blur. Was asked if he knew who that gentleman was next to him, which was the Crimson Blur.
Yep.
And he looked at him with that smile and was like,
I don't know you. And of
Not
course,
quite sure.
Of course, I continue to pop off and I say, "Oh, this is the Crimson Blur,
Right,
the
right.
tournament organizer of such esteemed series as Kings of Cali."
he gave his whole resume
Right.
and said, the Crimson Blur,
The Crimson
who
Blur.
ran this in this year,
Yep.
presented this exhibition match,
I can't believe.
commentated this.
Yep.
Do you know who this man is? Because now at this point, Blur was like, okay, Mr. Random guy in line that Bobby probably paid you for. Like, this is what he, obviously.
Obviously.
Because he can't believe this is real.
Right.
He's like, well, it's clear that You
This is a
watched
setup.
Evo this year.
Yeah.
You saw him commentate.
Absolutely.
Right.
And now you like this guy.
Right.
To which this gentleman named Brandon, who was in line,
Yeah. Cool.
was like, yeah, I know him from Evo. Bobby, can I just tell you, I loved your Falcon combo video back in the day. Blur, if you look at his face, this is the look of a defeated man. He doesn't know who he is as a man
right.
at this point.
He's scrambling for anything.
To
anything.
which he now challenges this said spectator,
Right.
fan of Smash content,
Right.
and says, can you name one Bobby Scar match that you like?
Okay.
This dude looks at Blur and was like with a confused face, I'm probably going to get the name wrong, and was like, yeah, it was when Scar like beat Ken, was it? Nailed it. Was it Ken? Nailed it. Okay.
Nailed it.
He beat Ken at like some major tournament.
He said, wait. Because Blur asked him the question straight up. He said, wait. I actually know this one. Mm-hmm. I think it was Scar versus Ken.
Mm-hmm. At.
For Evo 2000, he told the whole story.
Yep.
For whether or not Ken went to
Would
Evo,
go to
right?
Evo.
It was like a money match for like whether or not they go to Evo.
Yeah.
And I say, thank you, Brandon, for settling this long conversation between me and my good friend,
Yes.
the Crimson
The
Blur.
Crimson Blur. What's so funny to me about that, and of course, this is from a total noob. I apologize.
Yes.
I'm not educated on
fine,
the
it's
Smash
fine,
world.
it's fine.
But what I learned afterwards, after this whole interaction,
Yeah.
what Scar mentioned to me, and he even brought it up to this guy, Brandon. He said, did you know that tournament was run by this guy, and this guy commentated Crimson Blur?
That he
Right.
And the guy
commentated
was
that
like,
set.